Predicting the WWE Saturday Night Main Event match card. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, cheers. Talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, before we get too far into this, we know there's at least one match that's announced. I guess technically two. Maybe we'll get into that here in a minute. But what else do we see happening? It seems like this Saturday Night Main Event, they're shaping it up to be a big thing.
Yep.
Which is nice.
I completely agree. It might actually be a big thing. Come watch it with us on our YouTube live streams, youtube.com/COD WrestlePod. This time, I know we, WWE and us, we try to be realistic with our card predictions in terms of like probably 4 to 6 matches maximum, right? That's what WWE's been doing, especially on Saturday Night Main Event when it's on TV and they have like it's like a strict 2-hour period, right? I just said screw it this time and put like every freaking match under the sun that I think can happen. Yeah. So I'm maybe throwing it at the wall here.
Yeah, I definitely went realistic and looked, and I was like, okay, typically they do 5. They've done 4 before, and they've done 6 a couple of times.
I got carried away. Sikoa guy.
That's okay. That's okay.
Let's talk about the one that got announced yesterday. It is official. Cody Rhodes will be taking on Drew McIntyre for that WWE Championship at Saturday night's main event. What are our thoughts on that? And in my opinion, I think there should be a stipulation added.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, it always feels nice when there's a stipulation added, right? At least something big like that. If there is a stipulation added on Saturday Night Main Event, it's going to be to this match. I don't think there's going to be any other matches that get anything. So yeah, why not have Cody and Drew do it? It kind of almost calls for it, like you said. This match deserves to be on something on a big-time stage like a Saturday Night Main Event. Well, it's not a PLE. I understand that. But they're treating this like a big thing. They're treating it like a big show heading into Survivor Series. And this, I think, is going to, well, I don't know. What do you think? You think this one headlines it?
Oh,
if there's a stipulation... Do you think the headlines?
If there's a stipulation added to it, I think it'll headline the thing. And I think there should be a stipulation. We already got Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. And coming off SmackDown last week, Cody Rhodes literally cheated his way out of a championship match. Like he literally was overcome with so much anger that he took the belt and smacked it over Drew's head. I think that calls for something. You need a last man standing. You need some sort of first blood. I quit. I think we need something big to headline Saturday Night Main Event. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. I think that'd be the perfect fit. Drew McIntyre, man, we know that he can deliver in those moments.
Yeah. Even a Randy special guest referee.
That'd be kind of cool.
Why not?
With a punt to both of them.
Exactly.
He's going to somehow punt 2 of them at once. I guess that'd be a drop kick.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be a drop kick. Let's move it on. Let's talk about, the elephant in the room as of Monday Night Raw. A lot of people mad. We record our reviews, just so you guys know, literally the second we get done live streaming the event. So if you watch our live streams, you know that the last thing we say is watch our review tomorrow morning. We're going to go film it now. So you guys got our raw emotions to the Jey Uso versus CM Punk match, which is now official for Saturday Night Main Event for the championship because of Seth Rollins' vacated championship belt. Now that we've had some time to sit in on it, do you think Jey Uso was the right choice? And do you think that somebody, maybe a Braun or LA Knight, should be added to this match?
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to be, though. It's not the right choice because that's just the IWC complaining, right? I don't think it was the right choice, though. I really don't. You sit there, you think about it. LA Knight versus CM Punk, I feel like they were kind of building up something there with those two, right? CM Punk also just pinned Jey Uso, so it's like, well, he just pinned him, but now he gets the title match. You have Jimmy hanging out in the background, which, like, I understand. I like that storyline for Jimmy, for Jay, but I don't think that needs to be right here. I don't think it's going to be a triple threat. I think, honestly, on Monday, and I said we have one card announced or one match announced for this card. You said 2. I think we get a little switch up. I think we get Braun and Bronson attacking a Jey Uso, an Adam Pearce, something like that, and Braun Breaker gets in the match. So it might not be a triple threat, it may be, but I personally would like just a Braun Breaker versus CM Punk. Somehow he overthrows Adam Pearce and gets in that match.
Yeah, I mean, the second that Jey Uso won the Battle Royale, I was like, okay, Jay's over, CM Punk's over, fine. But now I've had time to sit on it, and I've been like, yeah, Jey Uso literally got pinned in the first number 1 contender match. So that just feels like an easy cop-out. It's like, who should we put up against CM Punk? I guess the guy who he pinned a week prior. I don't know. It feels a little weak to me. And I think really the only way to save this match in terms of my personal interest is to add in another guy. If they don't want to pull the Braun Breaker thing right away, which I think they should pull the Braun Breaker right away, But if they don't do that, throw LA Knight in there because that would finally kind of finish off that storyline that has been going. We really haven't gotten having all of those three in a match for a title would feel like the final cementing of that like pseudo rivalry we've had over the past month and a half with those three guys. I just think it'd be so much more interesting than Jey versus Punk because at the moment on paper that just doesn't sound very interesting to me.
No, it doesn't sound very interesting. They took the title off of Jey, and some people thought, okay, this is perfect. This is too long of a reign. Some people thought not enough. But then, like, Punk's story, like, I appreciate what they're trying to do, and obviously you got to pivot here. But to me, Punk winning it here against Jey Uso, that doesn't really feel big time. And it almost feels like if it's Jey Uso versus CM Punk, a Saturday Night Main Event, like you can almost just pencil in CM Punk, to me at least, because Jey has so many other storylines and story beats and things like that.
I will talk about it more, but the people who are saying that, well, Jey should win this and then we set up a Jey versus Roman Mania match, I'm not in that boat, man. I'm not in that boat whatsoever. We'll talk about it, though, later on. Let's get on to the main bulk of this thing because we do have a bunch of matches left to be scheduled for this event. You want to go first on it? What matches do you got for Saturday Night Main Event?
Yeah, we threw this idea out there. Obviously, we try to predict these ahead of time before WWE throws anything out there. So we're a little bit behind this time because, well, they actually did their job and they got ahead of the curve, ahead of the ball. You know, they got their eyes on the prize. They're like, let's announce these quick. I went with maybe the most likely one is what I got here. I got Charlexa versus the Kabuki Warriors. Kabuki Warriors, it's pretty simple. On Monday said, hey, we want those tag titles. We're coming after those tag titles. Obviously, Charlotte and Alexa had a match on SmackDown against Zaruka. Soul's out. So now obviously you got to pivot to some sort of tag team, whether they were planning to or not, right? So I think this is a great match. You can get both of these tag teams on to Saturday Night Main Event. You can get them kind of building up a little bit if they want to go ahead and kind of build some sides up, maybe a Survivor Series type of thing. I don't know. Kabuki Warriors feel like they should probably have those titles, and you can maybe break up Charlotte and Alexa. It doesn't have to be like a heel turn or anything right here, but they can lose the titles. They can kind of maybe just go their separate ways right now because that SmackDown division, like, while I like them as a tag team, the SmackDown Women's division needs a lot of help. And so if you break them up and have Charlotte Flair on her own, Alexa Bliss on her own, they can at least give some room to breathe. You can give some room to Tiffany and Julia there.
Completely agree with you. I do have this match taking place, and it kind of feels like injuries are always unfortunate, but injuries with Soul and Rhea have kind of backed them into the perfect corner to go ahead and do this match. Like, we thought that maybe Charlexa was going to deal with more Zaruka down, like, you know, within the next couple of weeks or so. We keep Zaruka around, get them introduced more and more to the main crowd, and maybe keep doing that. But with Soul now hurt, and then, of course, Rhea broke her nose, Kabuki Warriors now have nothing to do in their current storyline, and now maybe Charlexa have nothing to do in their current storyline. Throw them at each other at Saturday Night Main Event. We get a women's tag team title match on a PLE of sorts. I think that's a win-win situation. And like you said, if you want to do the Charlotte and Alexa break off where they can go chase in their singles ways after that, works for me.
Yeah, like I said, you don't have to have the heel turn here sort of. You can just have them, okay, well, we tried our best, we lost the titles, that sort of thing. And you can have one of them go after the main title, like Alexa Bliss if they want to do that, and then Charlotte can maybe go after like the US or something.
Right, and you could keep the friendship going. They could be managers for each other in a way. Like they could come out and support each other in matches, kind of like how Rhea and Io have been doing as of late, where Io has just been on the outside for Rhea matches. You could do that with Charlotte and Alexa, and we'd be just fine with it. Keep that kind of shtick going with them, so that'd be good. One match that I do have happening here, if we don't get a women's tag team title match, Raw led into it. You could do Stephanie Vaquer teaming up with Nikki Bella to take on Roxanne Perez and Raquel at Saturday Night Main Event. Now, do I need this at a Saturday Night Main Event? Not really. This could definitely just be a Raw thing that we kind of, parlay into whatever the hell we're going to do if we do a Nikki Bella heel turn, which people are now speculating. So if it does happen at Saturday Night Main Event, I'm not going to be too mad at it. But if it misses it as well, I'll be like, okay, that's fine for Raw.
Yeah, exactly. I thought about putting this on my list. I decided not to, specifically for the Stephanie potential like knee scare, I guess is kind of how I would describe it. I don't know if they're going to go ahead and kind of go full throttle now because of, like you said, all the injuries that have been happening. You have a little bit of a scare with Stephanie on Raw. I'm like, well, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's just hold off on that. And you can kind of keep building up the War Games side of things on a Raw. Like you said, you might get this the Monday after Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm with you. It could be a Raw match no matter what. I'm just looking in the future. They want Stephanie Vaquer in the big moment. Nikki Bella feels like if she's going to wrestle more likely than not, it'll probably be on PLEs, even though she has done a few Raw matches in the past. So I don't know about that. So I just threw it on there because it might happen. So I don't know. What do you got?
Yeah, I have I'm taking the other easy one. It's a Raw match. It's the one that we kind of just saw, but we're going to get a rematch. Saturday Night Main Event, I got Becky Lynch versus Maxxine Dupri. A little bit of wishful thinking, hopeful thinking. Maxxine needs another opportunity, another chance. Becky Lynch, Jessica Carr, Maxxine Dupri, they have this like everybody's against Becky sort of thing. Becky kind of cheats her way out of it. I even saw Jessica Carr today being like, hey, imagine you sit there and complain and you whine and you moan when you tap and you get pinned and all this stuff. So they're really kind of playing into that. I mean, what better way than to have that at a Saturday Night Main Event? Maybe that's where you get the AJ Lee return. You get something there. Obviously, Punk's on the card. AJ Lee might be there as well. We keep speculating. When's that going to happen? How's that going to happen? Maybe you get it right there. So everything that we thought for the Raw or for the match on Raw this past week, just do it there.
Yep, I have this happening, and I want Maxxine Dupri to win the damn match at Saturday Night Main Event. If you want to do it where AJ Lee returns, screws Becky Lynch out of the title, and then you could just have AJ Lee and Maxxine fighting a one-on-one match and have AJ win it that way, and then we can do Becky chasing on AJ Lee, and that storyline can get going. But these two matches between Becky and Maxxine, neither have ended clean. They've both been extremely over with the crowd. I think that they deserve to do it in front of a PLE-esque audience. And I think Maxxine Dupri getting a one-night title reign, even if you want her to, or 2 nights, I guess, because it's on Saturday. If you want her to drop the belt on the following Monday night, I don't care. Just justice for Maxxine, man. Have this match happen at Saturday Main Event and have her win it. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I could definitely see her getting a roll-up pin after, I don't know, AJ's music goes off, and then Becky comes back on Monday and says, no, I want my rematch, and boom.
Yep. One match that I do have, we're going to hop on over to SmackDown side of things. I do have the United States title triple threat match. I think we will get Ilja Dragunov, new U.S. champion. Glad to see him back, taking on Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn in a triple threat match. I just think that would be a great way to keep the belt on Ilja and maybe have Solo take a pin. I'm not 100% sure how you would do it, but a triple threat match is good for shenanigans and can probably carry forward whatever they're going to do with Solo and Sami if you want to continue that again and kind of have Ilja just take the win and escape from that storyline overall. But getting these 3 guys who've kind of been the center of the mid-card over the past few weeks on a Saturday Night Main Event, that's the best I could do.
Yeah, I didn't even think about really kind of putting that maybe on mine. I think maybe the Sami and Solo stuff is just maybe separate, or at least maybe that's my hope. And Ilja can just kind of continue all the great work that Sami's done with that title on his own, and he can go separate and they can go this way and they can just feud just to have a feud. Why not? Ilja, like you said, I guess I maybe would have them. Yeah, it would have to be Solo. But then at that point, you're thinking like, well, Solo just came back on TV. Like, does he really need to be taking a pin?
Throw Shinsuke in there.
Yeah.
He attacked Shinsuke too.
Yeah.
Fatal 4-way.
Yeah, who knows? You are really throwing stuff at the wall.
Throw it at the wall.
I think maybe Ilja might be a specific, kind of like that Sami Zayn. It was SmackDown Sami. I got to come up with something for Dragunov on Fridays.
About SmackDown Solo.
Well, yeah, but sure. Why not? Yeah. So yeah, just throw that on a SmackDown and do it that way, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. What else you got?
I got one more match. So I have a total of 5 happening. I talked a little bit about Stephanie maybe being out because of injury stuff. Maybe they're being a little bit precautionary. So I thought, let's put the other woman title holder on there. I got Tiffany Stratton versus Julia. Yeah. Is it something that I'm like going to sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to really hammer home that this needs to be on something? No, but Julia gets on TV. Tiffany gets on TV. You have both of those titles on there. And honestly, I have this match on there just for a shenanigans, which you may say, why even put it on there if it's going to be shenanigans? Well, WWE loves to do that. So I think what they're going to do, have this match, have this build up. You have Kiana James out there. Kiana and Julia end up having a beatdown of Tiffany. Maybe the match doesn't even go very long. Maybe there's a DQ. Bianca Belair returns, Saturday Night Main Event. Ooh. She goes to save Tiffany. They kind of team up and have like a little tag stuff for maybe a couple of weeks. And then you eventually turn Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca. I keep saying it every time we do these predictions, every time we do these PLE predictions, yep. Saturday Night Main Event, Bianca return. Sooner or later, I'm going to be right. Hey, so go ahead and give me that. Hey,
you shoot your shot every time. One of these shots are going to go in. You can't hate the play or hate the game. I do have this too, and I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen because, well, it's hard because it's like Tiffany versus Giulia, what does that do at Saturday Main Event? Well, it puts your 2 SmackDown Women's Champions on a PLE, right? Like, that's good. Giulia, I mean, she's been non-existent on that show, so getting her onto a PLE, we have to sort of think of it as a win. But Giulia has to take the loss unless you do some sort of crazy shenanigan thing. And then again, it's like, do we really need Giulia to be in some crazy shenanigan thing? So the more you look at this, the more it's like, please don't do it. Yes, please do it. I don't really know. But that's what they're booking on SmackDown right now. They're booking that ridiculous champion versus champion thing with Kiana James in the middle. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I could definitely see them doing it at Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, and it might even be a SmackDown thing the night before or something. Who knows? One of those two. I think you definitely get something like that. If you go the shenanigan route and you kind of set it up that way to where it ends up being a tag, like, okay, Giulia gets exposure, Tiffany gets exposure. They're both on TV. Kiana can come in for the tag stuff. Kiana can take the pin from Bianca, let's say, and then Bianca's like, oh, well, I need a title shot.
Look, if this match gets on Saturday Night Main Event just to give us a Bianca Belair return, we win. Mm-hmm. So it should be on the thing. Yep. So we are now officially desperate for her being back. That's absolutely the truth.
Yep.
I have one more match that I think could seriously make the card, and then I have 2 other matches that I just am going to throw out there because I wouldn't mind seeing them. One is the Triple Threat Intercontinental Championship match. I do think we are going to do Dirty Dom versus Penta versus Rusev at some point, whether that be on Raw or Saturday Night Main Event. I think that obviously the shenanigans happened at the end of the Dirty Dom match this week, and then also in the Battle Royale, Dom eliminated both of them. So that storyline needs to be finished with the championship match at some point. Dirty Dom better win that thing, but that could happen at Saturday Main Event.
Yeah, I almost put that on there. I think to myself, though, it's tough. I mean, I guess I could sit on Saturday Night Main Event. Dom gets the win. Then Dom kind of comes out and maybe somehow, some way, you set up for him versus Cena some way, somehow. But yeah, you could go ahead, whatever route they want to go, whether it is Saturday Night Main Event, which would be really cool. I would like that. Or at Monday Night Raw, you get Dirty Dom doing some lying and cheating or whatever. He ends up pinning Rusev, and there you go.
It's John Cena's first Monday Night Raw isn't until like midway through November, right?
I think so.
If it was a Raw after Saturday Night Main Event, I would say put that on there. And then Dirty Dom can come out on Monday and kind of cut a promo and be like, well, I am the king of the luchadors. No one can beat me. And then you hit Cena's music. I think that'd be really cool. But just in terms of storyline, this match has to happen at some point. If you want to throw it on Raw, throw it on Raw. I won't care. Then the other ones, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee can take on Judgment Day. Again, I did have that on there just because I was thinking we haven't seen the freaking Raw Tag Team Championships on a PLE of any sort in forever. And AJ Styles does seem to be going through some sort of crowd renaissance. People absolutely love seeing him right now. And I feel like they should ride that hot streak, and maybe putting him on a Saturday Night Main Event would do wonders for those Tag Team Championship belts. And you get AJ Styles kind of in there. So maybe they get that match. I'm not sure. And then one that's not going to happen, but I really want it to happen, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega versus Damian Priest and Lola Vice. That'd be a really cool way to bring Lola Vice up to the main roster. Obviously, Aleister Black and Zelina are onto something right now. Hopefully they can carry that forward on SmackDown this week. But that feels like a great mixed gender tag team match if we ever get one. So
yeah, I think we'll get one. I think it's probably a little bit further down the road. If Saturday Night Main Event was in the middle or something, November, I'd say, yeah, that's for sure. It's a really good idea. I've seen that idea floating around there, and you're like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And then as for the AJ Styles one, I'm never going to say no to AJ Styles being on TV sometime, somewhere, anywhere, right? So any of that would be good. They have a couple of different routes they could go depending on how many matches they want to book, who they want to choose from. Most of them, though, are kind of from the Raw side. I know we threw out some SmackDown stuff.
Always.
But it is what it is.
It just is what it is right now. And I sat here and I brought, how many matches is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I brought 9 matches to the table. We're probably going to get 3 or 4 of them at Saturday Main Event. It's just kind of how those shows go. So
yeah, I would say probably, I like the way they kind of keep doing things though, where they have SmackDown be kind of like a pre-show Saturday Night Main Event.
Saturday Night Main Events are like 2 days because the SmackDowns before it are normally pretty good.
Yeah,
and throw some championship matches at you. I could definitely see the Tiffany Giulia match headlining or main eventing the SmackDown before Saturday Night Main Event. Like I could definitely see that happening. So if that happens, we're all good. Win-win for everybody, right? But those are our Saturday Night Main Event card predictions. Let us know in the comments what you want to see at Saturday Night Main Event. And then we're rolling on to freaking Survivor Series, people. The year is coming to a close.
Picking up. It's going to be the fun season's really going to start beginning here. And then you got the holidays.
John Cena.
Then the Royal Rumble's going to be around the corner.
John Cena.
Yeah, that too.
He's leaving us.
That too.
Oh, makes me cry. Anyway, though, let us know in the comments what you think, because we love to see you guys in the comments and have discussions with you. And come watch SmackDown Raw and Saturday Night Main Event with us on YouTube, youtube.com/COD Then for everything else for the podcast, it's at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. We have a link tree in our bio. Take it all of our social medias. Please go ahead, follow, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're very confident that you guys would love our wrestling content. But I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. And we'll see you next time.